Hey, we're live and dangerous. That's quicker than normal. Now, greetings if you're watching this back. What I am doing is trying my new NBN connection on Wi-Fi, which is dangerous thinking. But we'll see how well it goes. Oops, I forgot. I always forget to turn that off. Okay, so that there. And there. Getting everything ready. There's my little chat window. And hello, musical aviator and Nozwonky. Yeah, I tell you what, why the NBN is fucked is because it was a Labor idea. And there's this, I've said this so many times, there's this shitty thing in politics. It's not universal, but it's close to universal, that politicians, whatever their stripe, can't admit when their opposition had a good idea. And Labor's plan for a super fast national broadband network with fibre running everywhere is a fucking great idea. Economically would have been brilliant for the country. But the Libs couldn't admit that, and they kept saying it was shit. And then because, well, I've heard a few versions of why, but for whatever reason, by the time Labor lost an election, the rollout of the NBN hadn't progressed very far at all, so the Libs could still fucking nobble it. If the installation had sort of gone forward really fast and had already spread out, the Libs wouldn't have been able to kill it. But Stephen Conroy didn't get enough of it laid out, and so it's all fucked up. And hello, Megaleech and Toby. But, okay, so I got forced onto the NBN. I've been on cable internet for ages, and I was worried it's going to get downgraded. Now, interestingly, the upload speed, which is what I need to get to you, is like heaps, like 10 times faster. Even on Wi-Fi, like I'm on Wi-Fi now, so I'm just making my life easier and not dragging a cable around the house. So I'm on Wi-Fi, and it's heaps faster than the old cable connection was. That's the one thing I was careful. That for some reason the Foxtel Telstra cable was biased heavily to what do you call it? Download. Like with all its bandwidth, 99% was dedicated to download. How? Okay. Constantly having a few things. Oh, Megaleech, you're saying, how do you know it's 30 seconds? I didn't say hello as soon as I saw your name. So, okay, if we want to know how long the delay is, when I count down to 0, type now on the screen, like 3, 2, 1, 0, type now. That's 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000, 5, 1,000, 6, 1,000, 7, 1,000, 8, 1,000, 9, 1,000, 10, 1,000. That's how long it normally is, 11. Yeah, it's 10 seconds. So it's about 10 seconds, which is what I've normally experienced. It might, Megaleech, it might have been 30 seconds between when you typed hello and when I said hello. I was just monologuing. It took me a while to say hello to you. So yeah, 10 seconds. Now, I don't know what magic there is that makes the delay between when I do something and when it gets to you, when I see your reaction. You know, whether my upload speed contributes to that, or it's literally just, you know, YouTube are making their magic happen and processing the video that I'm sending to them and then sending it back out to the world, which is fucking incredible when you think about it. Like literally 1,000 people could come on to a live stream. God knows how much popular people, big name people, if they ever do live streams, God knows how many people they actually get on the stream. And YouTube can handle that. So I'm going to do American Morty burp. Yeah, the technology is bordering on magic, quite honestly. So I'll always be impressed by that. So now just going to check thing. Actually, I'm going to try one. The other possibility when I say how long it's taking, it's not necessarily taking the same time for everyone. It's possible, Megaleech, it is taking longer to get to you because you typed now way later than Nosewonky did, for instance. So I don't know, maybe it is actually taking longer to reach you. Who knows? It's a mystery. Now I'm just gonna put this on the socials, as they say, because I'm down with the kids and talking about the socials. I don't have time to say social media. That's too many syllables. It's just social. Check my social, man. So it is. Okay, so it should be on Twitter. Did it go on Twitter? It didn't. I don't know why it didn't. Whatever. Okay, I'm going to do some link sharing. Let's do the link sharing, shall we? Where's my? Okay, that's my YouTube feed. Okay, so go come and join me live testing my NBN connection. Link in comments. And I gotta have an, ooh, that's pretty. I gotta think of a nice background. Oh, a Halloween one. Nice. I was wondering what the hell that was. That's a, ooh, I misspelled comments. I hate making typos. I feel so stupid when I make typos. And I'll, okay, that's done. And now I'll put it on Twitter. Wow, just someone posted a really old picture of Malcolm Turnbull. It's always funny seeing things like that. Let me see. Join me live, testing my new NBN connection with a live stream. Okay, and that's done it on the Twitters as well. Okay. So, okay, that's the socials taken care of. We don't need any more of that. And we get back into the talking. So, yeah. Megaleech, is my NBN copper or fiber? I think it's fiber. They put a new connection in. I wasn't here when they did it. So now I've got like bloody 2 fiber connections coming into my house. But it's all working. Oh yeah, Toby, what are you saying about if you go on a really popular live stream, the comments are really unreadable. They just scroll past. Back in the days when I used to do blog TV, when that website was still around and I quite liked it, I'd get my regular viewers, but sometimes they just randomly put you on the front page of the site, and suddenly view count would go bing, 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 and roll into over 100 people or whatnot. And then the comments would just go, blah, 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 blah. G'day, Janoria. How's it going? So, yes, it's while it's, you know, well and good and fun, you know, to have a big audience and stuff, in terms of actually having any meaningful interaction and responding to comments and whatnot, yeah, it's absolutely unmanageable for really popular people. I did see someone, I forget who it was, but it was like one of the Kardashians or something, had their phone, and for a laugh, they on Instagram they turned notifications on, just sort of saying like, see, this is what it's like. And when they went notifications on, the phone just went into meltdown. It just went just and the thing just scrolling past at 100 miles an hour of likes and comments on their Insta. And I was like, so yeah, swings and roundabouts, I guess. So I'm not super popular, but I get to have fun and actually interact with the people who are on the live stream. So, oh, are you unwell, Junoria? I hate feeling unwell. I managed to get through winter with only one cold, and that was right at the end of winter, around the start of spring. You know, I'm not really a superstitious person, but I hate saying, at least I didn't get sick, because I think I'm going to get sick if I say that. As illogical and superstitious as that is, there's a creeping thing with me of, don't say you're not sick yet, because then you'll get sick. And it's like, I did get a cold, but a whole bunch of people in the last month in my office have got some particularly nasty form of gastro. And I'm sitting here going, well, at least I didn't get gastro. Then, no, wait, don't say that out loud. Don't say it. You're just going to end up with it. But you're on IV antibiotics. Okay, that's pretty hardcore. If they've got you on intravenous antibiotics, things are getting pretty damn serious at that point. That's not something done lightly. So yes, I hope that works out for you. Okay, yeah. Now I'm just looking at the thing on YouTube, because I don't know why I find it easier if I can see myself on the screen, because theoretically it doesn't matter. What does it matter what I see? But it does actually help me to see myself. And if I have it on my YouTube channel, it's the 10-15 second delay, and that's really off-putting. But the way this works, because I'm doing it through Google Hangouts, if I see my Google Hangout screen, that's real time. Even if you're not seeing it real time, even if it takes 10 or 15 seconds for you to see it, I just find that easier. It gives me a frame of reference. And I can pop out the chat, so I see the chat from people on YouTube. And you know, it's all good. And I can function. This is why I always find it funny, when all these things about people don't know what their voice really sounds like. People don't know what they really look like. Yeah, well, I'm really familiar with my own voice and what I look like from different angles, from editing hundreds of hours of video. And even before getting into YouTube, I did radio when I was at college. So I used to talk with headphones on, and I used to record shows, and I'd hear them played back. So I'm very familiar with what my voice sounds like. So I don't have that thing that most people have, because when you hear yourself, you're getting the resonance in your skull, which is quite a different sound to what everyone else hears. So yes, I don't have any trouble recognizing my voice. And I don't even know if that thing about not really knowing what you look like is true. You know, certain things are like accepted wisdom, and with a bit of analysis, it turns out they're not true. I'm not sure if that's one of them. Hey there, Aussie Brick Chick, how you doing? You know, like, you know, I think men think about sex every 5 seconds or whatever someone invented, and that simply isn't true. But how would you be? I mean, I wonder what that feels like. I don't know who completely fabricated that, like made that up, pulled it out of their ass. Men think about sex every 5 seconds. how would it feel though to have just made something like that up and have it become a thing that people around the world say as if it's true, and you know you just totally fucking made it up. You were bored one day and decided to make up a statistic, and you made up the statistic that men think about sex every 5 seconds, and now people just repeat it all the time, even though there's no difference. Aussie Brick Chick, the NBN seems to be quite the boon for my live stream. Like the upstream is like 10 times faster than what I had before. Downstream's about the same, but upstream, which is important to me, 10 times faster. Like last night, I uploaded a 10-minute video. It was about 1 gigabyte, the file, and that would normally take like an hour or 2 to upload because of the way my old configuration was. And last night it took 10 minutes. So that's it. Now I've just got to get my new computer working so it renders videos quickly, because the video took an hour to render. The 10-minute video took an hour to render on my laptop. If I get my new PC tower working, then it'll render videos quickly. The whole thing will be so much better. Yes, Lanky Landcom. I got NBN like yesterday. 4K live streaming. I don't know how that would work. Like I can't even control what resolution it's going up on YouTube. What's it saying? Oh, it's okay. It's doing it automatically. I assume it's just going for the best quality automatically. It says it's doing it at 480p now, and I can manually set it to 720 if I want. Then it might start stuttering. So I won't do that. Don't want that to happen. Yes, I think Lanky Landcom may have been making a bit of a joke there about 4K live streaming, because I'm not sure that anyone does it. But you know, it's not so much. It's good if it's smooth and it's not stuttery and breaking up. But yeah, I don't think we need particularly high resolution in the stream. Okay, Lanky, you've got NBN and had 4 people streaming 1080p content at the same time. But you, Lanky, you mean streaming from the internet, not streaming up to? I don't know. I don't know if this webcam even does it. So maybe, like say, YouTube appears to be saying that I could set this to 720, which I won't bother. But maybe that's the resolution of this webcam. Maybe that's as far as it can go. Yeah, exactly. What I'm doing is talk. You're right, Aussie Brick Chick. I'm just talking to the camera. So long as it doesn't stutter and break up and the audio is okay. For just a sitting talking live stream, that's the important thing. Hey, doesn't Wolfenstein game come out tomorrow? Speaking of streaming, I want to play Wolfenstein on Twitch and just spend the whole time going, die, you Nazi motherfucker, die, 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 fucking Nazis. Hey, Frankie, how's it going, buddy? Yeah, well, I did a speed test just before coming on. Oh, I didn't save it. The Wi-Fi is amazing, quite honestly. Like Wi-Fi on the old system was kind of shitty, but Wi-Fi with this new Telstra modem, the Wi-Fi is about as fast as being connected with an Ethernet cable. Not quite, but you know, not far off it, quite honestly. So it's pretty goddamn good Wi-Fi, which I'm really happy about. And for those who missed at the start, as part of my experiment is doing this live stream through my laptop on Wi-Fi. If it stuttered then, it's because I'm doing a speed test, which be interfering with the bandwidth. So okay, it's measured a download speed of 43 MIPS, and prior to getting this NBN on, the cable was actually kind of shitty. In my old house, I could regularly get 100 MIPS downstream, but here it was only about 25, but it was only like 1 or 2 MIPS up. Now on Wi-Fi, it's like 18 MIPS up. So it's basically the upload on Wi-Fi is about 10 times better than what I used to get on an Ethernet cable with the cable thing. So, you know, not bad. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So I am pretty happy with the Wi-Fi. It's really noticeably better. And after some initial misgivings about the download speed, I'm pretty happy with it. Megaleech, this is what you get for living in Tasmania, man. You get about 5 MIPS in Tasmania. So, yeah, so far, I'm pretty happy. Like, my life on YouTube's going to be easier with the faster upload speed, 10 times faster upload speed. So my videos upload 10 times faster. Yeah, Janore, the upload on this is so much better than the Telstra Foxtel cable was. Like, conservatively 10 times better. So when you're an uploader like me, that's pretty significant. Jahatma, the National Broadband Network, and it's a bit of a political football in Australia. Previous government was going to do super fast connections to almost everywhere, and their opposition said that's a shit idea, and so they deliberately hobbled it to prove it's a shit idea, and also because they're in Rupert Murdoch's pocket, and Rupert Murdoch's scared of competition for his Foxtel cable system. There, I said it. They're just doing what they're told by their Lord Murdoch. I think I've got fibre to the premises. I'm pretty sure. Because I don't think I'd be getting these speeds with fibre to the node. Because I already did have fibre installed in the house. This guy did a new connection. I'm assuming it's fibre as well, because I don't think I'd get these speeds with copper. So yeah. But yes, also my teenage daughter, who wanted the fastest possible, she said, pay them extra to get faster. I'll give you money for it, because she has a job. So I'm Lanky. I'm supposed to get 140, and it's not at the moment. It seems to be about 45, 20. So it appears to be about half what it should be. Well, the friendly Geordies was indeed right. Despite cutting back the standard of the installation, the Libs plan for the NBN has had major cost overruns, and the whole thing's fucking stupid. Lanky, maybe I am. Maybe there's copper somewhere. I don't know, man. Because they don't even tell you. They won't even tell you because they're so fucking paranoid about a bad reaction. You know, they won't guarantee anything, and they don't answer really straightforward questions. So yeah, you know, I'm honestly not sure if I have copper in my connection anywhere. What's that? Sorry, I'm just looking at something weird. Yeah, so maybe I've got copper somewhere. I don't know. But yeah, basically at the moment, it's better. So, you know, I'm starting off being happy. So, you know, that's a plus. So we'll see how it goes, quite honestly. Um, uh, but you know, off to a reasonably good start. I got better upload speed for my video. That's working better for the thing. Ooh, okay, Lanky, you seem to be technically knowledgeable. The NBN box. What do I look for to tell if I've got copper or fiber? But yeah, I mean, there are so many variables with what could happen on your connection. It's just like, no. Noble Wolf, I have tried the speed test over Ethernet, and I got about, I think, 45 to 50 download and 20 upload. Cable will be thicker for copper. Oh, well, I have to go look. I mean, I could disappear now and go and look, but you know, probably, you know, yeah, it's not optimum for a stream to go. I'm just going to leave the room for a minute and go and check the NBN box that's in the next room. So, yeah, yeah, Janore. So yeah, I think I'm paying for 140 as well. So if I don't start getting better speeds, I'm not trouble. But I also think Telstra being complete bastards they are, if we try and switch down to a cheaper plan, they'll throttle it and make it even slower. I just have no faith in Telstra at all. It was kind of fun a couple of times when I had to go through their bullshit with trying to get connected and being fucked around, and they say, stay on the line for a survey. It's like, on a scale of 0 to 10, how likely are you to recommend someone, Telstra, to your friends? 0. And then it's like, it's embarrassing. Did you mean to put a 0? Yes, I fucking did. And then it's like, why did you choose that? And you get to leave him a little voicemail. So I gave him a jolly good rant. I didn't swear, but I gave him a jolly good rant about what a nightmare they were to deal with and how they wouldn't guarantee everything, anything. And I was really had the shits with it. Ooh, Safa, that's nice. 93 down, 35 up, fiber to the node. That's pretty good. Yeah. But I'm going to give it a little bit of time to settle in and, you know, check the speed again and then call Telstra and say, hey, what plan am I paying you motherfuckers for? And then tell them what I'm actually getting. And they say, why are you greedy bastards taking all my money if you aren't actually delivering? And they'll go, who, us? Take your money? No, no, we wouldn't do anything. Oh my God, you're only 210 meters from the node. You're lucky, Safa. I don't know how far I am from the node. I tell you what I'm mildly worried about. Straight outside my place, they're replacing all the sewage over, I think it's over a period of weeks or months. They're digging the fucking road up, and these huge pipes, I assume the pipes haven't been replaced for 100 years or something. And it just, sheer bad luck. Just after I move into a place, they rip up the road to replace the sewage pipes. I don't know when they're going to get to my place. They're sort of down the end of the block at the moment. I don't know if they're going to rip up right up in front of my place. I'm just a little bit saying, oh man, I hope these guys don't like cut through the cable at some point, because that would suck. That would just be my luck to have that happen. Check the cable next to it. Man, I tell you, the Wi-Fi is amazing now. It's so good. The Wi-Fi is better than the Ethernet connection was before I had the NBN box put in. So, that's good, obviously. I just want to really make sure I'm getting what I paid for, because, they make you pay. So we'll see. Yeah, Lanky, I got obviously a new modem with it. It's this big white thing, and the Wi-Fi off that is great. So yeah. Oh, the other thing they gave me is a Telstra TV box, which is useless to me because I've got a smart TV. As far as I can tell, the Telstra TV box doesn't do anything that the TV doesn't have built into it. Like, I can do Netflix and YouTube and Stan and all these other apps right in the TV. So I don't think the Telstra TV thing does anything for me. Safa, you were telling me to update my drive. I don't know how to do that. I'm on a laptop and I was messing about with it and I didn't see. I'm not that technical a person. I'm not a complete technical noob, but I did play around based on your advice, but I didn't see anything that would let me update network card drivers. Did they give me the FON wireless option? Lanky, I don't know what that is. What would the FON wireless option look like? Because I don't actually know what that is. So they gave me a modem, a great big white modem, and a Telstra TV thing, which I'm not using. Does anyone want a Telstra TV thing? So because I've got no use for it, I don't think. Does anyone use Telstra TV? Is it of any value? I can't think of any. Tell me, Lanky, what is the FON wireless option? I'm always interested now. Like I said, I'm not that deep into techie things that I just know off the top of my head what a FON wireless is. I'm just going with, they gave me a modem and I'm using that. And that's about as far as it goes with me, quite honestly. Oh, okay. They don't call that FON, do they? Telstra Air. You're talking about Telstra Air. Yes, I actually did. I did actually sign up for Telstra Air, and it works. And so I might, because now I have Telstra Air, I get free Telstra wireless and from lots of hotspots. And I might do some outside live streams if I get if I get a good signal when I'm out and about. Maybe on the weekend, I'm catching up with some YouTubers at PAX on the weekend. If I get a good enough signal, I might do an outdoor live stream on my phone. And Safi, you're right. The modem is about Xbox One size. It's really quite large. It's the largest modem I've ever had, I think. Why do people pay for these kinds of things when you can set up a desktop, laptop, and TV, use it as a monitor alongside wireless mouses and keyboards, and watch whatever you want? I don't know what kind of thing you're talking about. Hey, Lucy, how are you this fine evening? So, yeah, I plan to exploit the Telstra Air thing and do some outside live broadcasts. All right, you're talking about the Telstra TV thing. Yeah, I looked at it and I can't see any value in it. Like, okay, you're talking about with your laptop. I don't even need a laptop. You know, I've got a smart TV. It has, you can put apps on it. I don't see anything the Telstra TV thing does that my TV doesn't. So I haven't bothered to get. So I'm kind of thinking, hey, does anyone want a Telstra TV thing? Because, you know, it's just a paperweight for me at the moment. So that's it. And one of the stupid things Telstra did was deliver my modem and Telstra TV box to the wrong address. And that was pretty stupid of him. So I called them a couple of days later saying, hey, you said you delivered it and you didn't. And they went, oh, we'll send you another one. And then later on they said, oh, we send it to 50, not 20, number 50 on your street, not number 20. It's like, well, why the fuck did you do that? Why would you do that? You're like my phone company. You know my address. Why would you send it to an address that's not me? And I went up the road, and so now I've got two. I've got 2 modems and 2 Telstra TVs. Hey, Petty Wallaby, how are you? Yes. Yeah, Lanky. I find all the time now as I'm going around the city with the Telstra Air, it keeps popping up a little thing. You're connected to Telstra Air. You're connected to Telstra Air. So if I'm ever doing anything in the city that needs bandwidth, I'll connect to Telstra Air. Jatma, is it Apple TV all over again? Yeah, see, I don't know what Apple TV is either because I've never used Apple TV. I assume that's just an app box with maybe a DVR feature in it. I don't think the Telstra TV thing has a DVR in it, although I'm not 100% sure because I didn't bother to read about it or anything. Ah, Petty Wallaby, you're trying to adjust your time for the trip. Ah, that's interesting. It's a good plan, not that far till you get here. Cool. It's like Foxtel IQ, but even more of it. I don't mind the Foxtel IQ because I mean I've had Foxtel for friggin' ages. Like I don't know, over 15 years, I think. And yeah, my excuse originally was lots of cartoon channels to keep the kids amused. And for me, in the early days, the thing I wanted was the comedy channel. I wanted to be able to watch The Daily Show and The Colbert Report straight away. And I could with the comedy channel. But, you know, since then, you know, with the rise of shows like The Walking Dead and Game of Thrones and stuff that you don't get anywhere else, there are other reasons I like Foxtel. So, you know, I know a lot of people rag on Foxtel. Maybe I've just still got it from force of habit. I don't know. But, you know, I quite like it. Now I've got Netflix as well. I only just signed up to Netflix last month for the first time. And that was to watch the new Star Trek because Mrs. Angry is a big Star Trek fan. And so I'm getting into all the other stuff on Netflix as well. Loving all the animated stuff. And, you know, binge watched all 4 seasons of BoJack Horseman. I'd always wanted to watch that. This was also there were 2 reasons I decided to get Netflix. One was Star Trek. It was the only way to watch Star Trek legally. And so do Mrs. Angry Fab. But second, there were a couple of shows like BoJack Horseman I really like. See, I buy DVDs, Blu-rays, whatever, you know, sometimes digital copies of things. And I looked at, yeah, the average cost of a season, whether it's digital or on disc or whatever, the average cost is for one show, is several months worth of Netflix. Like watching 4 seasons of BoJack Horseman. And in the past, I would have bought the discs And that's about a year's worth of Netflix. And I've already watched that in the first month. You know, everything else is gravy. Discovering other new things. I'm Noble Wolf. I'm planning to watch The Good Place because a lot of people have said it's good. Everyone else always tells me to watch Narcos. I'll watch that at some point. I still haven't watched Stranger Things. I want to watch Stranger Things. Oh, Toby, man, I haven't picked up the package yet. It's there. I keep getting messages it's there. And the one time this week, I was out like at lunchtime walking around and it was a warmish day. It was, hey, while I'm out, go to the post office, get the package. Wouldn't you know, because it was a warm day, I wasn't wearing my jacket. And the keys, which include the key to my post office box, were in my jacket pocket and I wasn't wearing it. And that was the only time. So maybe I'll remember tomorrow to pick it up. So yeah, Aussie Brickchick, you're also recommending The Good Place. Okay, yeah. I've also watched a couple of live comedy specials on there that I enjoyed. The Expanse. Megalich, I haven't watched it, but Mrs. Angry binge watched The Expanse because she's a big sci-fi fan, and she's watched however many seasons of The Expanse they have on Netflix. She's finished that already. So again, speaking of value for money, watched a lot of series just in the first month. I've seen Stranger Things season 2 starting. I'll probably get onto Stranger Things 2. Black Mirror, Aussie Brick Chick. I've watched most of the first 2 seasons of Black Mirror, but that was another reason I wanted to get Netflix, because Netflix has the new Black Mirror. Yes, Megalich, Mrs. Angry did love The Expanse. She thinks it's great. Lucy, I saw the Jack Whitehall one advertised. I haven't watched it. I might watch it. I watched Louis C.K., Patton Oswalt's. I started watching the Jerry Seinfeld one and just found it really boring because I do find Jerry Seinfeld quite boring. Toby, what TV series do I like? I do watch a lot of sci-fi. I watch a lot of animated stuff, like stuff I've been watching. Yeah, I do watch. I watch Game of Thrones and The Walking Dead. I'm watching the new Star Trek. I've been watching all the animated stuff on Netflix. BoJack Horseman and Rick and Morty. Big Mouth's really funny if you've never seen it. That's a less well-known one. It's really funny. Started watching F is for Family, which is not bad. I've watched a couple episodes of that. I'm not binge watching that, but I've watched some of it. Yeah, and even other anime stuff like Archer and Bob's Burgers, I really like. I have seen some old Robin Williams stand-up back when he was a very serious cocaine user, and it's very obvious. Like, you watch some of his early stand-up specials, and it is so obvious he's on cocaine. Like, it's not even slightly subtle. Yuri, we're talking TV at the moment. Lucy, I was planning on watching Haters Back Off because I've got a bit of a soft spot for YouTubers, of course. Oh, Jesus, Misfoxification. That sounds fucked up. A series called Awake is a guy who has a car accident. When he wakes, his son is dead. When he sleeps, he's like, he wakes up and his wife's dead. And it flips between the two and he can't tell what's real. That sounds fucked up, quite honestly. That's real too. That sounds almost like a variation on the theme of Life on Mars. It's a British cop series named after the David Bowie song. There's a cop and he gets hit by a car when he's standing next to his car, and the David Bowie song Life on Mars is playing when he gets hit, and he wakes up and it's the 70s, and He's being a cop in the 70s, and it's all so different to him. And there was a sequel series to Life on Mars, set in a female cop set in the 80s, called Ashes to Ashes, another David Bowie song. So, well, Lanky, you saw one called Radius. Two people wake up, no memory of who they are, but when they get close to other people, they drop dead. Okay. Yes, right. Yeah, Lucy. John Sim is the cop in the British series Life on Mars. Yeah, Miss Foxification, the more you say about that show away, the more messed up it sounds. Like, in a good way. He has a psych in both worlds, and sometimes they say the same thing, which messes with him. Oh, wow. Yeah, Life on Mars is a very interesting series, and yeah, and as was like the sequel series, Ashes to Ashes, has a very interesting stuff in it. And of course, I mean, John Sim's in a few good shows. I think he's pretty good as the Master on Doctor Who. He's in another sort of British crime series called Mad Dogs, as in they were saying Mad Dogs and Englishmen. So I haven't seen all of Mad Dogs, but I've seen quite a few episodes, and it's pretty good. I much preferred him as the Master in the last season when he came back, and he's existing in the same place as Missy, and they're interacting with one another. Same as happens to the Doctor every now and then, crosses timelines with himself. Lucy, I'm so looking forward to the new Doctor. Like, it's going to be a long time till we actually see a new season, but I'm very much looking forward to see what they do with the new Doctor, and how they explore the idea of the Doctor being female as well. Safi asks, is my Foxtel still on HFC? I don't know. I don't know how I'd know the answer to that question, quite honestly. So it's all coming through the NBN box now. So what else? What else good's coming? I mean, you know, we've got all the superhero films coming up before the end of the year, like Thor's just opening. I might go see that, not this weekend, but next. I'm really looking forward to Black Panther. Has anyone seen the trailers for Black Panther? That looks incredible. And it's like so African. I am so looking forward to the racist fuckheads on the internet losing their tiny little minds about the rather extreme representation of black people, not just black people, Africans. I'm quite looking forward to that. I miss Foxification. I have seen Snowpiercer. That's an interesting movie too. A very interesting take on sci-fi. Toby, what does the Angry family watch? Well, Mrs. Angry and her son are next door at the moment watching Red Dwarf. But yeah, watch a lot of sci-fi. I don't know, my kids, they don't even watch that much TV. I have a bit of a thing where I watch The Walking Dead with my daughter. That's daddy-daughter time, watching The Walking Dead. They prefer to play online games to watching TV. Yeah. Biori, the two white guys in Black Panther were both in Tolkien movies. It's Andy Serkis, who was Gollum, and what's his face, who was Bilbo Baggins. He's also Dr. Watson in Sherlock with Bumble Snatch Cumberflaps. And so I like so the joke someone made of look, the only white guys on the poster were both, it's Gollum and Bilbo. Someone called them the Tolkien white guys as opposed to the token white guys. Puns. We like puns. That's it, Biori. Martin Freeman. I blanked on his name for a second. God, I saw him on show recently, an interview show, and they brought back like, oh, one of your earliest roles, he was in the Sacha Baron Cohen movie, the Ali G movie, and he's really young. Like I think he's meant to be playing late teenager, early 20 something in it. He's probably a little bit older, but if you're used to him now, he's really fucking young in the Ali G movie. It's really weird to suddenly have it shown to you again. And it's like, wow, okay, that's pretty weird. Toby, I don't play video games much just because I like them. They take up too much time, and I never get YouTube stuff done. You've got to make choices. Like, I can watch some TV shows and do my YouTube stuff, or I could play some video games and do my YouTube stuff. But I can't like watch TV and play video games and do my YouTube. Yes, hi guy. Yeah, we were talking about Telstra have a pretty good Wi-Fi router for NBN, and it's serving me well so far, which is nice. It's nice to not have to drag cables around. Yeah, too much video games, too much TV is obviously bad. But yeah, it's like, but even just recreationally, I can fit in 2 serious recreational activities, and if I'm going to make one of them YouTube, then I can YouTube and I can watch the TV shows I want to watch, or I can do YouTube and play video games, but I can not do YouTube and video games and TV. So TV tends to win out over video games. Yeah, I'm getting almost as good on Wi-Fi as I am on Ethernet cable at the moment, so it's pretty damn good. Yeah, the parents. That's very old school. Watching, it's like home, dinner, TV, bed is that's like my generation and older. But yeah, that can be a bit frustrating. You know what I still get sometimes? Because my work's fairly intense. It's a big project and there's a lot of pressure on it, and I can sometimes still feel like I'm meant to be doing stuff when I get home. So it's like the feeling after school, you've got to do homework. I don't have homework from my day job. I leave and that's it till the next morning. But sometimes I find I sit down and I watch TV, or I sit down at my computer and go, oh man, I'm probably meant to be doing, no, I'm not meant to be doing anything else. I'm a grown up at home after work. I can do whatever I want, but it still plays on me sometimes. Would I let fans motorboat me? I don't think Mrs. Angry would go for it. I mean, I could actually squeeze my moves together and people could definitely do it. I just don't think Mrs. Angry would be into it. Exactly, Lanky. I can eat ice cream for dinner if I want. Tonight I actually had butter chicken, which is a reasonably grown-up thing to have for dinner. I did have some ice cream afterwards, though. But yes, I'm reasonably well behaved in my eating lately. I have a whole balance thing. Who's heard of the 5-2 diet things? It's like people say like you can lose weight if you fast. It's not quite fasting, but there's this idea that if 2 days out of every week you really reduce your calorie intake, it can really help with that. And I'm trying to lose weight. The journey's happening since I got serious about it. Probably lost about 10 kilos, and it's, you know, still progressing in the right direction. So, you know, and I'm much more responsible with what I eat than I used to be. Yeah, pity Wallaby. I don't watch free-to-air TV at all. Even on the Foxtel stuff, I set stuff to record and watch it when I get a chance. I never operate around TV schedules anymore. I'm either on Netflix or on stuff that I recorded, you know, on the IQ box. Thanks, Mega Leech. I mean, it's the start of a long road. I mean, if I lose, and I'm going to keep going, then if I lose another 15, when I lose another 15, which will take another couple of months, that will be the best weight I've been for a long time. Like basically in what if you've watched me on YouTube for the whole time I've been on, you've basically over, you know, more than 10 years, you've seen my weight fluctuate 25 kilos, which is fucking ridiculous. But that's, you know, how lazy and indulgent I was. So if I can get back down to like lose that 25 kilos, I'll be back to the best weight I've been on since I've been on YouTube, and that's like 90 kilos. That's like the best weight I've been since my 20. So then the goal is to like be the same weight I was in my early 20s, which is about 80 kilograms. But that's from my biggest. That's a third less. So 35 kilos. Toby, when can you expect to see the new channel? Before the end of the year, I think. I'm putting together content for it, and I think it'll go live before the end of the year. Safa, you can't put on weight. You can. The fact you don't put on weight means that whether it's unconscious or not, you know when to stop eating. A lot of people who maintain, you know, stay quite skinny, they go, oh, no matter what I do, I can't put on weight. No, you are maintaining activity and limiting calorie intake. Even if you're not doing it to a plan, you're lucky enough to have a natural pattern, and good on you. I remember seeing a sort of doco series about that. It's a British program, and they actually got a bunch of people who, like you said, oh, I never put on weight no matter what. I eat everything I want and I don't put on weight. And they were like, oh yeah. And they were basically making the point these people had good controlled eating and activity habits, even if they didn't realize it. And so when they were in this experiment, there was someone with them, like always with pizza or pasta, and it's like, have another slice, eat more, do this. And so they did. And these people put on a fuck ton of weight because these people in the experiment changed their eating habits. And not only did they put on a fuck ton of weight after saying, I never put on weight, then when they were left to their own devices, they couldn't lose the weight. So the same people who ran the experiment then gave them an exercise and diet program so they could lose it. So after 63 kilos, you're tiny. Frankie, you eat all the time, can't put on. Mate, fast metabolism, and because you move so fucking fast anyway. Walking around London with this guy, and he walks so fucking fast. I felt like I was running to keep up with him. Frank goes at 100 miles an hour, basically. You see, Petty Wallaby, that is the tip. You don't eat when you're not hungry. Any fat person eats when they're not hungry. Speaking as a fat person, that's why you get fat. You eat when you're not hungry. And that's how you get fat. Pizza, you're right, it's foxification. Although I'm quite full. I had butter chicken tonight, butter chicken and rice, and it was really yummy. And I'm very full still. So Frankie, you can't run. Man, you don't have to run. You walk so fast, you don't have to run anywhere. It's like you is so hard to keep up with you. Your other thing, lack of physical activity is a big problem, and eating too much is obviously a big problem. Oh, Angie, that can be, if you're driving trucks and eating, that can be bad. Oh yeah, misfoxification, there's no doubt that as you get older, your metabolism suffers a bit, and the same amount of eating and the same amount of physical activity make you put on weight. Hey Toby, thanks for dropping by, buddy. Catch you later. But yeah, I've got things moving in the right direction for the first time in 10 years. So I'm reasonably happy at the moment. I've got a few more milestones. I like that idea, misfoxification. It sneaks up on you like a delicious pizza. Those sneaky, sneaky, delicious pizzas. Yeah. Well, the big one for me is the one I've talked about a few times, and Toby was just talking about my second channel. These videos are going to be on my second channel. Mrs. Angry teaching me this thing called tapping, or EFT, which can be used. She's a psychologist and works in the public health system and uses it in her practice to help people with stress or anxiety or depression or trauma. But it can be used for more mundane things too, like changing your eating habits. If you think there's a type of food, particularly if it's like junk food that you just can't resist and nothing can stop you from eating, you do this technique and it makes it really easy to resist. And plus, it also works the other way. It can get me to eat healthy food that I never used to eat. And so it's worked for me. Destrada Ray, you've been watching for 8 years since 15, so that's like a third of your life. And you are right, my friend. It is odd from my perspective to have people tell me that they were watching me in their teens, in their young teens, and now they're in their 20s. That is really quite, that's the weird twist of the world we live in. I mean, even without being like a huge YouTuber, like the people who have millions and millions of viewers, millions of people have been following them for a decade. Even, having a nice, comfortable sized audience, still end up with people who have been watching me for, 5, 8, 10 years. And of course, both myself and the viewer have changed a lot in that time. And yeah, if you started watching me when you were young and now you're in your 20s, that's a little bit weird to think about. You're absolutely right. That's odd. So, it's the interesting world we live in that we have that sort of experience. So, it's a wild and crazy world we live in. But it is what it is. It's mostly good. It's got some weird aspects, but I think it's mostly good. Misfoxification, you're right. It's the growing with someone that you've never actually met that's really weird. What do you think, Rory? You listen to someone talking about tapping. It is effective. Tapping yourself thing wasn't necessary. I'm not sure what you mean there, tapping yourself wasn't necessary, because the theory behind tapping is it does actually, it's important where you do it, because it's like acupressure points and it's providing a specific type of stimulus. Like you do, I'll show you the specific places you do. I had to go take my glasses off, but yeah, now I've got dirt on. So what you do, you set yourself up. For instance, like when we're doing the food to resist, for me, one was white chocolate. Like I found white chocolate so hard to resist. So I'd start with a bar of white chocolate and I'd smell it, smells good, I want to eat it. And then tell, okay, even though I really want to eat that bar of white chocolate and it's delicious and yummy and sweet and I want to eat it, I accept myself anyway. Yeah, EFT stands for Emotional Freedom Techniques. And even though I really want to eat that bar of chocolate, like 10 out of 10. I just want to eat the whole thing. I accept myself anyway. And this is like, you set yourself by tapping here, and then you say little things as coupons. It's here, and you go, I really like white chocolate. Tap here. I really want to eat that white chocolate. That white chocolate smells so yummy. I want it. And you tap here. I think I'm going to eat the whole bar. It's so yummy. Really want to eat that white chocolate. White chocolate is so yummy. I really want to eat it. I want to eat that white chocolate. It smells so good. I really love eating white chocolate. And that's the cycle, and you do that a couple of times, and then you assess how much you want to eat the white chocolate again. I did it with white chocolate and chips, whatnot, and it's incredible. Like, you start off going, it's like 10 out of 10. And it, look, honestly, I always preface it when I tell people about it. It's completely legitimate in my mind to say, that makes no sense. It doesn't appear to make any sense whatsoever. How can that do? But it's real. It's absolutely real. And there's a lot of clinical study behind it. My partner, Mrs. Angry, she's a psychologist. She studied under this professor at Bond University in Queensland. He's one of Australia's leading specialists. But you actually feel the change as you're doing it. Like, oh, I actually, I can put this away. I don't have to eat it. But what surprised me most is the other way, because I have really bad eating habits. I didn't eat any vegetables, and we worked our way through. We did this like with carrot, and this is raw carrot, cucumber, onion, capsicum, I think celery too. And we started like, you know, I've got this like piece of raw onion, and how much do you want to eat this? I don't, like 0 out of 10. Smelling it, take a little bite, and like take a little bite, and you're going to think, oh, this is gross. Yeah, choke it down. Okay, and then you do the tapping about, I hate onion, it's gross, I don't want to eat it. Da, 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 da. And then try it again, like smell it again, and bite it again, and you go, okay, that's not as bad. Still don't like it, but instead of 0 out of 10, now it's maybe 2 or 3 out of 10. And you keep going, get to the point where, like for me, when I was ranking the stuff on 1 to 10, once something gets to 7 or 8 out of 10, I actively want to eat it. 5 or 6 is like, okay, I can tolerate this. This is fine. I don't mind eating it. But 7, 8, 9 out of 10 is, I actively want to eat that. And this is where I ended up like, no, that actually tastes nice. Like, I really like it. And now, like, everyone at work thinks I'm a gourmet chef because I make these sandwiches. I get a fresh baguette from this little roadside vendor that sells bread from this little boutique bakery, a sourdough baguette, cut in half, make like a sandwich, and I saute some onion, capsicum, mushroom, and then I add tomato and cheese to the sandwich, put it in a sandwich press, and everyone thinks I'm a gourmet chef. I'm like, that's like 3 ingredients that I'm just sauteing, that I'm just putting it on a sandwich with some tomato and cheese. And everyone thinks a gourmet chef, and it smells and it tastes really good. And I feel really good after eating it. And I don't know if it's just because, you know, it's relatively wholesome food, or if it's also the whole ritual of making it makes me feel good. But you know, sometimes you eat something and you like it, but maybe you eat too much of it, and after the meal you're like, oh my God. But this is a really controlled amount. I never feel stuffed, but I always feel good after eating it. No. Betty Willoughby, the only things you don't eat, liver and raw tomato. See, I didn't used to eat raw tomato, and now I will. Liver, yeah, I'm not big on liver, but it's the same thing. If you wanted to eat those things, you do this EFT technique, and you'll end up liking it. And it's like, and will it absolutely, on the surface, doesn't seem to make any sense. Like, how can tapping bits of your face and body change how you feel about food? But it actually happens. And going through it is the weirdest thing. Like, when was doing some of the practice stuff. Like, I was also doing it for stress and anxiety. Like, there's a period where work was really stressing me out, like really badly, and we did the tapping to help me deal with it. And whenever I was going through it with Mrs. Angry, she's saying like, "How do you feel now?" And I was really hesitant to say I feel better, because it's like, do I just think I'm meant to feel better? And so I'm so, but it's like, no, there's no getting around it. Like, that anxiety is gone. That stress isn't there anymore. Or this food now tastes nice. Or I can resist that junk food that I never used to be able to resist. So I've made a bunch of videos. Like, it's all about my journey, my weight loss journey. So, I mean, I can actually see some, every now and then I realize I can see some difference in like the shape of my face and to a large extent my body. Like, I can say, because yeah, I've lost 10 kilos, that's not bad. And some clothes, particularly clothes that were really tight or didn't fit me, and they've now, you know, it's got extra room that it didn't have before. So there's a really noticeable difference already. You know, I'm just getting to the stage where it'll be a really big difference, but it'll be fun. Like, if I get, you know, if I lose another 5, when, not if, when I lose another 5 kilos, that's when it's starting to get really noticeable. But then, you know, the more I go, the more noticeable we get. I even noticed, you know, because I get comments on older videos, and I get a comment on a video from like early this year, and I'll go, I can see the difference. I can see the difference in what I looked like at the start of the year to what I look now. You're saying I'm making you hungry. You're just a fat shit on the inside. I'm a fat shit on the outside, buddy. There's no getting around it. But I'm working on it. And I tell you, another thought that's occurred to me, I'm going to have to be careful, because this is going to succeed. I'm convinced this is going to succeed. I'm going to lose the weight. So ultimately, I will end up losing like a third of my body weight. By the time I get to my target, I will have lost a third of my body weight, and I'll be happy and I'll feel good. And it will be really hard for me, not really hard, but I know I'm going to have to stay conscious of it, to not say to people who have trouble losing weight or want to lose weight or should lose weight, just go, you can do it, you're just not trying. You know, I'm trying really hard. I want to stay conscious of, don't be a dickhead. You know, don't be a prick about it. Because that would be awful. There's one of the things I really work on is to, you know, not be condescending, not be a prick. I mean, if I don't like someone, you know, like, I make no secret what I think about the people who like self-identify as Nazis or white supremacists or white nationalists or the alt-right, basically fuckwit scumbags. I'm never going to do anything but point out their fucking scum. But with other people, I just, smug really annoys me. I really don't like smug people. And even like when I see some, whether they're YouTubers or mainstream media people who theoretically have very similar politics to me, but the way they do stuff just comes across as really smug. I really don't like it. And I'm sure the people who are really diametrically opposed to me think I'm smug. You know, they just hate me for being. But my real concern is people who I don't want to alienate. If I alienate someone, I want it to be on purpose. I don't want it to be an accident. And that's why I often say to someone like, "Oh, you hurt me. You made me feel upset." And you go, "I meant to. You're a fucking piece of shit, and I wanted to upset you." So, but I'm very cautious of alienating people I don't want to alienate. And if I find that I have alienated someone that I didn't mean to or didn't want to, I work at fixing that. Frank, you eat raw liver. Okay, dude, gross. I'm not going to eat raw. I'm not going to eat raw meat. I know a lot of people do. I'm not going to. But New Zealand lamb liver tastes like soap. Don't take your word for it. Frankie, by the way, one of the things we did when I was in London and caught up with him, he took me to the cafe at his work site and had the full English, and it was big. You know, it was like beans and sausage and bacon and egg and bread and black pudding. I had a bit of the black pudding. I didn't eat all of it. I was not a huge fan of the black pudding, but I did eat some for the sake of it. Was that Safa? New Zealand has gigabyte broadband. Yeah, well, we all should. Like I said, if it wasn't a fucking political football here, we would. But unfortunately, that's exactly what happened. It ended up being a political football, which sucks. So, who knows? The future might bring something better, but it is a real disappointment that there was a plan in place to have really good broadband in Australia, and because it became a political football, we all got fucked over. This Foxification talk about 5G for mobiles. Yeah, but see, that's the other problem in Australia. The charges for data are fucking ridiculous. It may well be better than a lot of what the NBN offers. The charges for data are so outrageous. Oh, look, musical aviator. Malcolm Turnbull can try as much as he likes to blame someone else for NBN being cheap, but most people know it's his fault. Most people know it's a deliberate act on the part of the Liberal Party to fuck up the NBN. It's not an accident. It's not poor management. It's their premeditated plan to fuck it up, and most people know that. Most people who care know that. This Foxification, I hope demand and overuse brings it down, because data charges in Australia are ridiculous now. Frankie, eating raw pork. I'm almost sure that we are regularly told to not eat raw pork. It's maybe not as bad as raw chicken, but I just have a feeling it's not good. I mean, are you just going around biting animals, Frank? Is that what's happening? It's like, I just imagine you going, that pig looks good, I'm going to take a bite out of it. Raw pork. But Frank, it was alive. Why did you bite it, Frank? Safa, Dubbo has fibre to the premises on one side and fibre to the node on the other. Fucking, that's better than I expected in Dubbo, to be honestly. Safa, is it lard? I don't know. Raw pork is a parasite. Any raw meat is a parasite risk, actually. Oh my God, you just reminded me. A book I read a few years ago that I really enjoyed called Peeps. There's a writer who writes mostly young adult novels. I actually, over the course of my life, have read a lot of young adult novels because the good writers are good writers, no matter who their target market is. Back when I was at school and uni, I read a lot of Robert Cormier, who write for young adults. And authors these days written young adult stuff. There's a few good ones, but one I read, Scott Westerfeld. He has a famous series that's known as the Uglies series. And he's written quite a few young adult ones. And he did one called Peeps, which is like his version of a vampire story. And in this story, vampires are vampires because of a blood-borne parasite. And he actually explains all the old legends about vampires not liking daylight and mirrors and religious symbols in the term of how this blood-borne parasite affects their brains. And it's really interesting. It's a really cool take on vampires, but it's called Peeps because that's slang. If someone's a vampire in this, they're parasite positive, and the slang for that's become peep. And there's a special sort of police force that's designed to hunt down the peeps. And it's a really good read. Scott Westerfeld generally is a really good writer, but Peeps is good. And he has this thing between each chapter, just a little treatise, like a page, a couple of pages on a real world parasite. And one of the things he points out is if you've ever eaten rare meat, you almost, not raw, rare. If you've ever eaten rare meat, you almost definitely have parasites in your system. The only way to ensure you don't get parasites from meat is to cook it through. And of course, most people agree that meat, whatever it is, except for maybe chicken, but like beef and pork and stuff, tastes better if it's not cooked all the way through, like if you get a bit pink in the middle, whether it's burgers or steak or whatever. But if you do that, you've almost definitely got parasites in your system. And so I must definitely have parasites in my system. Oh yeah, sushi would almost definitely put parasites in your system, Sebastian. Oh, what's up, Frank? The Sci-Fi UK is running out of Buffy episodes. Oh no, that's not good. Ah, Fury, Dracula 2000 is a really underrated film. Like, it sounds terrible. It was like, I think it was possibly a straight-to-video movie, and it was made around the year 2000. So there's a sci-fi Dracula movie called Dracula 2000, and it's really pretty good. It is true, Sebastian, you can get deworming tablets, but there are all sorts of parasites. My favorite parasite story from the book Peeps talked about this one little worm that was so intent on, he describes it as the worm that wants to take over the world. Yeah, it's a microscopic worm, but one of its main hosts was a species of wasp, and it could only develop in the female wasp, like it couldn't develop in the male wasp. So it actually genetically engineered its wasp host to only be female. This species of wasp now reproduces asexually, and they're all female because it's wasp. And humans can contract this particular parasite. And what tends to happen is it gets into your eye and it triggers your immune system, and your immune system overreacts and destroys your own eyes in an attempt to kill this parasite. So in other words, if you get this into your system and it's not treated, you'll end up blind. It'll get into your eyes, and your own immune system will destroy your eyes and send you blind. And this, after telling you this creepy story about this parasite that affects its host so much, it says, and what evolutionary advantage would this little worm get in a world full of blind people? I don't know, but I'm pretty convinced this thing wants to take over the world. And I just love the idea of this little worm being so malevolent, it's deliberately sending humans blind. So all the humans are blind and don't run the world anymore. It's creepy. So it's like not literally true, but it's a fun idea. Oh, Sebastian, yes, I did do a speed test. And I'm on Wi-Fi, right? I'm not even connected with it. I'm on my laptop on Wi-Fi. I've got a download speed of 44 MIPS, upload of 18 MIPS, and a ping of 13 milliseconds. So, pretty good, really, for Wi-Fi. Speaking of which, oh my God, it's 10 o'clock. Yeah. Oh yeah, CJ, mad cow disease is shit, misfoxification. It is a really bad disease. I have to double check what I'm paying for. 50/20. Sebastian, I think I went like 140 and it's not delivering that. But anyway, so thank you all for joining me. It's like 10 o'clock now. I'm going to go to bed. Thank you for joining me. It's been very entertaining as per usual. Thank you for your fine company. And I hope to see you again soon. I'm going to try and do I'll try to do a weekend TFU video tomorrow. See, sometimes I'll have a few drinkies after work and I get a bit distracted by the drinkies and don't make the video. But we'll see how it goes. There's been so much to talk about this week. I will try and do it. So thank you all. Nighty-night. If you give me a thumbs up on the way out, try and fool the YouTube algorithm into thinking I'm popular, that would be great too. thank you all for joining me. I will see you again soon. Bye now.